Chosen one, stop for a moment. Before another sound enters the room, before your mind tries to explain this away, feel the stillness around you. This message is not random, and it is not late by accident. Out of everything you could have watched, through all the noise competing for your attention, you were meant to see this first. Heaven itself has been arranging the timing, aligning the seconds, guiding your steps to this exact point. Something important is unfolding, and your soul already knows it. You've been sensing it, haven't you? That quiet pressure in your chest, that feeling of being watched over and tested at the same time. Life hasn't attacked you openly. It's investigated you in the shadows. Delays, betrayals, sudden endings, unexplained resistance. And yet, you're still here, still searching, still standing. And chosen one, before we go deeper, pause for a moment, hit subscribe, and comment yes if your spirit's already responding. Because this message is not entertainment, it's alignment. And what comes next is about to speak directly to you. Chosen one, this is the moment of recognition. The reason confusion has followed you is because clarity is dangerous to the wrong forces. The reason you felt out of place is because you were never meant to blend in. You've survived battles you never got credit for, wars fought in silence, tears shed in private, strength summoned when no one was watching. Light has always followed you, but so has shadow, because purpose attracts opposition. Now comes the revelation. There is a window opening, quiet, precise, divinely timed. Once it passes, it doesn't return the same way. This is not about fear, it's about awareness, alignment, movement. What you do after this moment will shape what happens next. Heaven has been patient, but timing matters more than ever right now. And finally, divine validation. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not mistaken. This message reached you exactly when it needed to, because you're ready to hear what was hidden before. Stay with me, chosen one, because a truth long concealed is about to rise into the light. Chosen one, let us begin here, at the question your soul has already been asking in silence. Why now? Why did this message cross your path at this exact moment in your life? When your energy feels stretched, when your thoughts feel heavy, when clarity feels just out of reach. Nothing about this moment is accidental. In the spiritual realm, timing is never random. It is precise, intentional, and deeply personal. Messages like this do not arrive when life is calm and predictable. They arrive when awareness is required, when a shift is forming, and when your spirit is finally ready to listen without running. You may have been distracted lately, pulled in many directions, tired in a way sleep doesn't fix, questioning whether you're moving forward or just surviving. And yet, here you are. Ask yourself, how many times have you scrolled past things without feeling anything, only to suddenly stop here? Why did your attention slow down now? Why did your heart recognize this before your mind could explain it? That is not coincidence, that is resonance. Your spirit responded because it was ready now, not yesterday, not tomorrow. There are moments when the soul becomes receptive. When chosen one, let us speak honestly about delay, because delay rarely announces itself as a threat. It doesn't arrive with alarms or warning signs. More often, it wears the disguise of comfort, routine, and just a little more time. It whispers that tomorrow will be safer, that waiting is wisdom, that staying still is harmless. But is it? Ask yourself this. How long have you been standing at the edge of something you know you're meant to step into? And how many times have you talked yourself out of moving because the ground ahead felt unfamiliar? Delay is subtle, but it is costly. When you remain in the wrong place for too long, emotionally, spiritually, or mentally, something within you begins to dim. Energy slowly leaks away. Confidence erodes in silence. Momentum, once strong, becomes harder to summon. Not because you're weak, but because your spirit was designed for movement, not stagnation. Have you noticed how tasks that once felt easy now feel heavy? How your motivation comes in waves instead of flowing naturally? These are not flaws in you. They are signals. Staying comfortable can feel safe, but comfort in the wrong season becomes a cage. The longer you delay a necessary shift, the more your mind learns hesitation instead of courage. You start questioning your instincts. You start negotiating with your calling. And without realizing it, you begin paying a price you never agreed to pay. What you delay today does not disappear, it transforms. It quietly becomes the cost you pay tomorrow in lost opportunities, weakened faith, and unexplored potential. Does that truth sting a little? It should. Awareness is meant to awaken, not soothe. Chosen one, consider this gently but deeply. What has delay already taken from you? Not dramatically, not all at once, but piece by piece. Time you can't retrieve, energy you had to fight to recover, belief you once held without effort. And yet, even now, this message is not arriving to condemn you. It's arriving to interrupt the pattern. Delay may have shaped the past, but it does not have to define what comes next. There is still grace in movement. There is still power in choosing differently now. The moment you decide to stop waiting for the perfect feeling and start responding to the inner knowing, momentum begins to return. Ask yourself, what would change if you honored the urgency your spirit has been signaling? What if this discomfort is not a warning to stop, but a signal to move? Delay has been quietly costing you, yes, but awareness gives you something back. Choice. In Chosen One, the fact that you are hearing this now means the window has not closed. It means action is still possible. Stay with me, because what comes next is about reclaiming what delay tried to steal. Chosen One, understand this carefully. Life does not always move in straight lines. Sometimes it moves in windows, quiet openings, brief alignments, moments where conditions soften just enough for change to pass through. These moments don't announce themselves loudly. They don't beg for attention. They appear subtly, often when you're still recovering from the last season, still unsure whether you're ready for another shift. And yet here it is. A window is opening for you now, and your awareness is the key. Not effort, not struggle, not force. Many people miss these windows because they are waiting for certainty. They want guarantees, signs written in the sky, permission from the world before they move. But divine timing rarely works that way. This window isn't asking you to rush or panic. It's asking you to recognize, to feel the change in the air, to notice how things that were once blocked are suddenly loosening. Have you felt it? Conversations changing tone, ideas returning with new clarity, resistance easing in places that once felt locked. These are not coincidences. They are indicators. Chosen One, windows don't stay open because they are not meant to. They exist to test awareness, to reveal who is listening closely and who is waiting for comfort before commitment. Circumstances shift, people shift, energy shifts, and when the alignment passes, it does not return in the same form. That's not punishment, it's design. Growth requires response. The soul learns through movement, not endless preparation. Ask yourself honestly, how many times have you sensed an opening before, only to hesitate until it quietly closed? This moment is different because you are different. You've been refined by delay, sharpened by uncertainty, strengthened by survival. The window opening now isn't about proving yourself. It's about trusting yourself. Trusting that the inner nudge you feel is not imagination, but guidance. Trusting that readiness is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move with it. What if the very reason this window won't stay open is because it's meant to awaken decisiveness within you? Do not confuse stillness with safety. Sometimes stillness is stagnation wearing a peaceful mask. This window asks for gentle but deliberate movement. One step, one choice, one shift in direction. Nothing dramatic, nothing reckless, just alignment. When you move in alignment, momentum meets you halfway. When you hesitate too long, momentum moves on. Chosen One, this message is not here to pressure you, it's here to prepare you. The window is open now, not to rush you, but to remind you that timing is alive. Pay attention to what feels lighter, clearer, and strangely possible again. Ask yourself, what is quietly calling you forward, and what will it cost if you ignore it this time? Stay present, stay aware. Because once this window begins to close, it won't announce that either. And what comes next will require you to remember this moment when you were given the chance to move, not out of fear, but out of alignment. Chosen One, before any visible shift takes place in the outer world, There is always a quieter transformation happening within. Nothing meaningful arrives without preparation. And if you look closely at your recent past, you'll begin to see the signs that you were already being readied for this moment. Not suddenly, not loudly, but steadily, intentionally, and with purpose. The unease you felt was not confusion, it was recalibration. You may have noticed a growing restlessness even when life appeared stable on the surface. Things that once satisfied you no longer held the same weight. Conversations felt shallow, routines felt repetitive. Comfort started to feel limiting rather than safe. Ask yourself, why did staying the same begin to feel heavier than the idea of changing? That sensation wasn't dissatisfaction. It was your spirit outgrowing a container that could no longer hold who you're becoming. Detachment is another sign, and it can feel unsettling at first. You didn't stop caring, but you stopped clinging. Old patterns, old identities, even certain relationships began to loosen their grip on you. You may have felt guilt for wanting something different, or confusion about why distance felt necessary. But detachment is not abandonment, it's alignment. It's the soul releasing what no longer matches its frequency. What have you already let go of without fully understanding why? Chosen one, preparation often feels like loss before it feels like freedom. That's because before movement happens externally, alignment must happen internally. Your values began shifting. Your tolerance for misalignment dropped. You started questioning choices you once accepted without thought. This wasn't rebellion, it was refinement. A quiet internal audit, making room for what's next. Have you noticed how your intuition has grown louder, clearer, less patient with compromise? Even the challenges you faced recently were part of this preparation. Delays forced reflection, disruptions broke autopilot. Moments of solitude sharpened your self-awareness. None of this was wasted. You were being strengthened, stripped of distractions, and taught to listen inwardly rather than seek constant validation outwardly. What once felt like setbacks were actually training grounds. This shift you're standing before now isn't sudden. It's earned. Your spirit has been stretching, adapting, and awakening long before this message reached you. The pull toward change you feel isn't impulsive. It's the result of alignment taking root, and alignment always comes before action. So ask yourself honestly, chosen one, if you weren't being prepared, why would staying the same feel so uncomfortable? Why would your inner world be rearranging itself without your permission? Trust what has already been happening within you. It's evidence that you are ready, not perfect, not fearless, but prepared. Stay with me, because recognizing the preparation is the key to stepping into the shift without resistance. Chosen one, as the timing begins to shift, the question is no longer if something needs to change, but how you will respond. Many believe divine action always requires something dramatic, a bold leap, a public declaration, a life turned upside down overnight. But this moment is asking for something far more powerful and far more precise, intentional action. Quiet choices, conscious decisions, the kind that don't make noise but change direction. Right now, your awareness matters more than your effort. Paying attention is action. Listening without dismissing your intuition is action. Choosing not to repeat an old pattern, even when it feels familiar, is action. Ask yourself, what have you been tolerating that your spirit has already outgrown? And what would happen if, just once, you chose alignment over habit? Boundaries are another form of movement, and they often feel uncomfortable before they feel liberating. Saying no where you once overextended yourself. Creating distance where energy was being drained. Protecting your focus instead of explaining your worth. These are not selfish acts. They are signals to the universe that you are ready to be trusted with more. Chosen one, have you noticed how the smallest boundary can restore more peace than the loudest confrontation? Sometimes the action required is a quiet yes. Yes to an opportunity you once felt unqualified for. Yes to a conversation you've been avoiding. Yes to trusting yourself when doubt tries to speak louder than knowing. Hesitation has been your protection in past seasons. But this season is asking for response. Not recklessness, not pressure, just presence. What decision have you been circling, waiting for a perfect moment that may never arrive? Small decisions carry more weight right now because the timing is sensitive. Think of it like steering a ship. One slight turn at the right moment changes the entire destination. Ignore it, and the drift continues unnoticed. Honor it, and momentum begins to shift naturally. This is not about forcing outcomes. It's about cooperating with timing. The universe responds when intention meets awareness. Chosen one, don't underestimate the power of choosing differently once. One boundary, one honest decision, one aligned step. These are the actions that unlock larger movement. And the reason they feel subtle is because they are meant to build stability, not chaos. So pause and ask yourself, what is the simplest action you've been avoiding because it felt too small to matter? What if that small step is the very thing keeping the timing open? Move gently, but move consciously. Because when the timing changes, the opportunity doesn't disappear. It simply requires more effort to reach. Stay with me. The next shift depends less on what you do loudly and more on what you choose intentionally, starting now. Chosen one, understand this truth gently but clearly. Timing responds to response. When you move in alignment with the moment, resistance does not vanish completely, but it softens. Paths that once felt blocked begin to open without struggle. Conversations flow with less effort. Decisions feel clearer, not because life becomes simple, but because you are finally positioned where clarity can reach you. Responding now is not about forcing a breakthrough. It's about placing yourself where the breakthrough can find you. Think back to moments in your life when you acted at the right time. Didn't things seem to unfold with an almost quiet cooperation? Support appeared without you chasing it. Opportunities met you halfway. You didn't feel dragged forward, you felt carried. That is what alignment does. When response meets timing, momentum forms naturally. Ask yourself, what if the resistance you've been fighting wasn't opposition, but a sign that the timing required a different approach? Chosen one, responding now alters your path forward because it changes where you stand. Positioning matters. A single step to the left or right can change what you see, who you meet, and what becomes possible. This moment isn't demanding perfection or certainty. It's inviting availability. Availability to listen, availability to choose differently, availability to trust that inner knowing you've been practicing hearing. Have you noticed how your instincts have become sharper lately, less negotiable, more direct? When you respond at the right time, delays lose their grip. You stop repeating lessons that were meant to be learned once. Energy that was trapped in indecision returns as focus. You no longer spend as much time convincing yourself. You simply move. And with that movement, life responds. Doors open not because you pushed harder, but because you arrived when they were unlocked. This is not about pressure. Heaven does not rush, it aligns. The urgency you feel is not anxiety, it's readiness. The difference matters. Anxiety drains, readiness empowers, one paralyzes, the other positions. So ask yourself honestly, chosen one, does this moment feel heavy or does it feel clear? Does it feel chaotic or quietly decisive? Responding now does not mean everything changes overnight. It means the next chapter opens without delay. It means you step into a flow where effort produces results instead of exhaustion, where clarity replaces constant questioning, where movement feels supported rather than resisted. Chosen one, this message is arriving at the edge of a turning point. What you choose to do with it will echo forward. Position yourself wisely. Respond gently but firmly. Because when alignment meets action, the path ahead doesn't just change, it unfolds. Stay present, stay aware. What comes next is shaped by what you choose now.